Angela Merkel has come to offer help. She visited Passau on Tuesday. The German Chancellor was getting an overview of the situation in the flood-stricken part of the country. She wants to show people the government cares, as does Bavarian State Premier Horst Seehofer. The mayor, the local representative to the federal parliament, and the heads of the aid and rescue organizations are also with the group. Sometimes it seems a bit crowded. But all eyes are on the Chancellor, trying to see how she'll handle a natural disaster. They didn't wait long for a response.
The state will do something. The federal government has allocated 100 million euros for flood relief. We'll do it on a 50-50 basis. Of course, we're going to help the other states, Saxony and Thüringen and Saxony-Anhalt. And if the funds run out, then we'll talk again.
Money is what's going to help people here the most. But this is also about politicians using the media to shape their image, to show they aren't afraid of getting their hands dirty. Media consultant Klaus Cox advises public figures not to be shy.
It's
a real object lesson. The one who goes to the site of the flooding and shows empathy with the victims is usually rewarded with major political success.
Especially if it's a flood like this one, which has devastated southern and eastern Germany. In Passau, the water is 13 meters deep. The last time the Danube was this high was 500 years ago. The military, rescue and civil defense workers, and firefighters are all working to hold back the tide. Others would join in, but they've got to get themselves sorted first. Laura Busch is one. She's a student and lived here with her boyfriend, until the flood, that is.
Get that out. And the stove. Get everything out.
Even with water levels dropping and the help of many friends, the job is still a mammoth one. Water and mud have damaged everything. Laura Busch says the visiting politicians can't actually do much to help, and there's a campaign element to it as well. But Merkel's visit still makes the victims feel better.
It's encouraging because the situation in Passau is really bad. But now that Mrs. Merkel is here, we can hopefully count on government support. Still, you can't rely on anything 100%. They say donations are coming in. But how do we apply for them? Everything is still a bit uncertain.
Laura Busch has been through this before when her home in Grimma, Saxony was flooded in 2002. That event was dubbed the flood of the century, until now. Back then, Social Democrat Gerhard Schröder was Chancellor. He donned boots and looked grave as he inspected stricken areas, scoring a political bullseye by playing the part of a doer, crisis manager, and a shoulder to cry on. All the more so because his Christian Democrat rival, Edmund Stoiber, was nowhere to be seen. Cox says in retrospect that the appearance clinched re-election for Schröder.
Schröder intuitively exploited the political opportunities of the situation. We know that Stoiber was vacationing and had no desire to interrupt his holiday. That was a huge political miscalculation. Schröder came across as a great populist.
When the water is bubbling out of pumps and residents are hoping for help and support, it's a real chance to make political capital, especially for the incumbent. Naturally, that leaves Per Steinbrück at a disadvantage. The Social Democrat opposition candidate is again having difficulty appearing truly sympathetic.
As someone who lived with his family in a house close to the Rhine, I have a concrete idea of what it means when floodwaters inundate a house. That's why I believe that I can sympathize with those who are struggling with the adversities generated by this disaster.
Whether it's in Passau or other affected areas, Merkel is showing compassion, but stopping short of pity. Such appearances are like walking a tightrope.
It's tricky. If it's overdone, people say we're being taken for a ride. Too little, and it goes unnoticed. You need to find the right balance. Schröder was very good at it. Merkel makes a good attempt. It's not perfect, but it's much better than the rest.
After an hour, the Chancellor moves on to the next stricken region. With 4 months left until the general election, it's likely that her visits to flooded parts of the country have garnered some popularity points.